I hate you.
Are you as turned on as I am?
More.
I can drink that drink without touching the pack.
Okay. You're right. Okay.
Welcome to the place where everybody knows your name, but nobody knew these secrets.
Anybody want a Mai Tai?
For 11 seasons, Cheers was America's favorite hangout, a warm refuge filled with laughs and friendship. But behind the bar's cheerful facade lurked addiction, hatred, death threats, and betrayals that would make your favorite cocktail taste bitter. The truth about Cheers will shock you.
No, she knows you're here. I told her you're here. Now look.
Fact 1. The Coach's tragic end. You remember Coach, the lovable, absent-minded bartender who made us all smile. But here's what they never told you. Nicholas Colasanto, the actor who played Coach, was literally dying while filming season 3. He was battling a heart condition so severe that crew members had to help him remember his lines.
Cheers. Yeah, just a sec. Is there an Uni Pantuso here?
That's you, Coach.
Speaking.
In his final episodes, you can actually see how frail he'd become. Colasanto died during production, leaving cast and crew devastated. The producers faced a horrible choice: recast or completely rewrite the show. Instead, they did something beautiful and heartbreaking. They kept a picture of Geronimo on Sam's office wall as a tribute to Coach because Colasanto had kept that same picture in his dressing room. It's still there in every episode. When Woody Harrelson joined as the new bartender, they didn't replace Coach, they honored him. Every time you see that picture, you're seeing a ghost. The laughs continued, but part of Cheers died with Nicholas Colasanto, and the show was never quite the same. Fact 2. Sam and Diane's real-life hatred. On screen, Sam and Diane's relationship was electric, passionate, and unforgettable. Off-screen, Ted Danson and Shelley Long couldn't stand each other. Cast members later revealed that Danson and Long barely spoke between takes. Their arguments were legendary, with Long often storming off set when Danson would ad-lib or change blocking. The tension was so thick that other actors dreaded scenes with both of them. Ironically, their real-life animosity made their on-screen chemistry explosive. The frustration, the eye rolls, the barely contained anger, it was all genuine. Long felt Danson was unprofessional and cocky. Danson thought Long was pretentious and difficult. Writers actually started using their real conflicts as inspiration for Sam and Diane's fights. When Long finally left the show, she refused to attend the wrap party. Years later, both admitted they were probably too similar, two strong personalities who clashed constantly. The greatest TV romance of the 80s was built on actual mutual disdain. Sometimes the best chemistry comes from real combustion. Fact 3. Norm's real drinking problem. Norm Peterson was the lovable barfly everyone wanted to drink with. Norm, the bar would cheer as he walked in. But George Wendt, the actor behind Norm, was fighting a very real battle with alcohol that mirrored his character's fictional one. Wendt has spoken openly about his struggles with drinking during the show's run. The irony was devastating. He was playing Boston's most famous drunk while trying to get sober in real life. Cast members noticed Wendt would sometimes come to work hungover or shaky. The producers knew, but kept it quiet to protect the show. Wendt later said some of Norm's most convincing drunk scenes came from his own genuine experiences with alcohol. The character's dependence on the bar wasn't just comedy, it was autobiography. Eventually, Wendt got clean, but not before years of internal struggle. He's credited his Cheers family with helping him through recovery. Norm's drinking was funny on TV, but George's drinking was destroying his life. The line between character and actor became dangerously blurred. Fact 4. Cheers was almost canceled. Here's something that will blow your mind. Cheers, one of the most beloved sitcoms in TV history, was an absolute disaster in its first season. We're talking 77th place out of 77 shows. Dead last. NBC executives were ready to pull the plug after just 13 episodes. The ratings were so bad that advertisers were jumping ship, and the network was hemorrhaging money. Cast members were already looking for new jobs, convinced their careers were over. Then something miraculous happened. The show got nominated for multiple Emmys, including Outstanding Comedy Series. Suddenly, critics were calling it brilliant television. The Emmy buzz created a second life for the show. Viewers who had ignored it started tuning in during the summer reruns. By season 2, word of mouth had spread and the ratings slowly climbed. But it was close. Terrifyingly close. If not for those Emmy nominations, Sam Malone would have served his last beer in 1983. The show that defined 80s television almost never made it to the 80s. Sometimes greatness needs time to find its audience, and Cheers nearly ran out of time. Fact 5. Carla's pregnancy cover-ups. Carla Tortelli had 6 kids on the show, but here's what's crazy. Rhea Perlman was pregnant so many times during filming that the writers couldn't keep up. She got pregnant 4 times during the show's run. They made Harrelson sign agreements about not discussing his father publicly. The contrast was staggering. On screen, Woody was pure innocence. Off-screen, Woody was the son of one of America's most notorious criminals. Cast members were reportedly shocked when they learned the truth. Harrelson later said he struggled with the family shame while trying to build his career. Fact 7. The original ending was darker. The Cheers finale was warm, nostalgic, and hopeful. Sam stayed at the bar, serving one last customer with that classic line about being glad you came. But that wasn't the original plan. The writers initially wanted a much darker ending where Sam would relapse into alcoholism and lose everything. The original script had Sam drinking again, the bar failing, and the character hitting rock bottom. It was supposed to be a brutal commentary on addiction and how some people never escape their demons. Test audiences hated it. They felt betrayed and depressed after 11 seasons of loving these characters. NBC executives panicked and demanded rewrites. The writers fought back, insisting the dark ending was more honest and realistic. After weeks of arguments, they compromised on the version that aired. But some cast members preferred the original darker finale. Fact 8. Rebecca was never supposed to stay. When Shelley Long left Cheers, the producers were in full panic mode. They needed a female lead, and fast. Kirstie Alley was hired as a temporary fix while they searched for the real replacement. Rebecca Howe was written as a placeholder character, meant to last maybe half a season. The plan was to find a bigger star, someone who could match Shelley Long's appeal. Dozens of actresses auditioned, including some major names who turned down what they thought was a sinking ship. Meanwhile, Kirstie Alley was killing it as Rebecca. Her neurotic, uptight manager was getting huge laughs and connecting with audiences. The writers started developing her character more, giving her better storylines and romantic entanglements. Before anyone realized it, Rebecca had become essential to the show's DNA. By season 7, the producers quietly stopped looking for a replacement. Alley had transformed from emergency hire to Emmy winner. The temporary fix became permanent gold. Sometimes the best solutions are the ones you never planned for. Fact 9. The bar wasn't a real bar. Millions of tourists have visited Boston looking for Cheers, and they've all been disappointed. The exterior shots were filmed at the Bull and Finch pub, but the interior was completely fake, built on a Hollywood soundstage. The real Bull and Finch looked nothing like the TV bar. It was smaller, darker, and had a completely different layout. Tourists would walk in expecting Sam's bar and find a cramped basement pub that bore no resemblance to the show. The disappointment was so widespread that the Bull and Finch eventually renovated to match the TV version, spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to become a replica of a fictional place. Even then, it wasn't quite right. The warm, inviting atmosphere of Cheers existed only on television. The bar where everybody knows your name was a complete illusion. Fans had fallen in love with a place that never existed. The most famous bar in America was Hollywood Magic, and reality could never compete with the fantasy the show had created. Fact 10. Frasiers' spin-off Betrayal. When Frasier premiered in 1993, it was supposed to honor the Cheers legacy. Instead, it became a source of bitter resentment among the original cast. Kelsey Grammer negotiated a deal that made him richer than any of his former co-stars had ever been on Cheers. He was earning more per episode on Frasier than Ted Danson had made as the lead of Cheers. The other actors felt betrayed and abandoned. George Wendt and John Ratzenberger were particularly vocal about feeling left behind while Grammer struck it rich. The worst part? Frasier quickly became more prestigious than Cheers, winning more Emmys and critical acclaim. Grammer rarely mentioned his Cheers family in interviews, acting like Frasier was a completely independent creation. When Cheers cast members made guest appearances on Frasier, the atmosphere was reportedly tense and awkward. The character who had been part of their ensemble became a solo star who forgot where he came from. The Cheers family had been broken by success, money, and ego. Frasier's sophistication came at the cost of working-class loyalty. Bonus fact, the theme song lie, "Where Everybody Knows Your Name," is one of TV's most recognizable themes, but it's built on a lie. Songwriters Gary Portnoy and Judy Hart-Angelo never visited the Bull and Finch pub before writing it. They created this nostalgic anthem about belonging without experiencing the place they celebrated. The lyrics don't match reality either. The song talks about troubles being all the same, but Cheers featured unique, complicated people with different problems. It mentions everyone knowing your name, but characters constantly forgot names or mixed them up. Woody confused customers regularly, and Carla insulted longtime patrons. The theme song created expectations the show contradicted. The most beloved part of Cheers was false advertising, selling a dream that never existed. So there you have it, the shocking secrets behind America's favorite bar. Hit subscribe for more hidden truths about your favorite shows.